Have you ever wondered how the mighty Russian army came into existence? The story begins in the late 15th century, under the reign of Ivan III, also known as Ivan the Great. Determined and visionary, Ivan III made strides to centralize power, a significant part of which was the creation of a standing army. This wasn't just any force, but one that would soon become a formidable power. As the army took shape, it wasn't long before it was tested in battle. One of the key conflicts of this era was the Battle of Vedrosha in 1480. Here, the Russian forces, under Ivan's leadership, demonstrated their might and resilience, setting the tone for future military endeavors. Their victory not only bolstered the morale of the army, but also asserted the growing power of Russia on the world stage. And thus, the foundation of the Russian army was set, paving the way for a military force that would shape world history. As centuries rolled on, the Russian army evolved, adapting to changing times and technologies. From the 17th century onward, the Russian army saw significant changes in its structure, tactics, and weaponry. These centuries were marked by a determined drive towards modernization. As Europe's political landscape shifted, so did the strategies of the Russian military. The 17th century was a time of transition and growth. The Russian army was increasingly professionalized, shifting away from a reliance on feudal levies. The introduction of firearms and artillery marked a significant leap forward in military technology. But the real transformation began with Peter the Great at the dawn of the 18th century. An enlightened monarch with an eye for progress, Peter played a pivotal role in ushering the Russian army into the modern era. He reorganized the army, introduced modern military ranks, and established a regular standing army. He also founded the Russian Navy, recognizing the importance of naval power in the global stage. The 19th century saw Russia's involvement in major European conflicts like the Napoleonic Wars. These wars tested the mettle and resilience of the Russian army. Despite the challenges, the Russian forces held their ground, proving their might and tenacity. The Battle of Borodino, one of the bloodiest single-day battles of the Napoleonic Wars, stands as a testament to their courage and resilience. During the course of these centuries, the Russian army underwent a series of transformations. They adapted, they evolved, and they learned. They embraced new technologies, developing a sophisticated artillery system that was widely regarded as one of the best in the world. They honed their tactics, learning from their experiences on the battlefield. Through it all, the Russian army was always at the forefront of military innovation. They understood the importance of staying ahead of the curve, of constantly pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This drive for innovation, this spirit of adaptation, has been a hallmark of the Russian military throughout its history. From bows and arrows to guns and artillery, the Russian army was always at the forefront of military innovation. The 20th century brought unprecedented challenges and changes for the Russian army. The World War I years were a time of turmoil as the Russian Empire crumbled under the weight of internal strife and external pressures. The army bore the brunt of these struggles, fighting valiantly on the Eastern Front. Then came the transformation. The Russian Empire gave way to the Soviet Union, and the army was reborn as the Red Army. It was in World War II that the Red Army truly made its mark. Facing the formidable Nazi Germany, it was a brutal, bloody conflict, a test of endurance and resilience. Yet, despite being pushed to the brink, the Red Army stood its ground, playing a pivotal role in the defeat of the Nazis. Despite the immense losses, the Russian army emerged as one of the victors of the most devastating conflict in human history. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Russian army faced a new set of challenges and opportunities. With the dissolution of the old world order, the Russian army found itself in the throes of internal and external conflicts. The wars in Chechnya and Ukraine tested the mettle of the military and showcased its adaptability in the face of evolving warfare. The post-Soviet era also marked a period of significant modernization efforts. The Russian army sought to keep pace with changing technologies and tactics, investing heavily in the development of advanced weaponry and military infrastructure. Today, it stands as a formidable force, maintaining its status as a global military power. Despite these advancements, the Russian army is not without its challenges. Economic pressures, geopolitical tensions, and internal reforms continue to shape its trajectory. From its humble beginnings to its current prominence on the world stage, the Russian army's journey has been filled with trials, tribulations, and triumphs.